Hey guys, it's Jake here. Welcome to Canadian Cutting Edge. This is my first day back after Kansas City, and I've got some knives that my sister was holding for me that I could take into Canada because they're fixed blades, so I could get them here cheaper. And while I was gone, I got some mail, so I've got lots of things to go through, and Bandit's barking, so I'm going to settle him down first, and then we'll get right at it. Hatchets and axes, and I would not be surprised if the same factory makes them both and if they used a mold that's very similar to this. I like the way that they made this handle here, and I'm going to be fairly quick with these. There's a tab here that you turn open to get it off. You pull it out, take it off, and the handle comes off, or the guard comes off. There is a belt loop here. I do have to loosen that so I can orient it up so that it'll hang properly. It just gets shipped in this orientation. And in the sheath up here, there's a ferro rod. So that's a good add-on. And it seems to be that it's fairly snug in there. Is there a chance that that's going to fall out while you're carrying it? Yes. Is it a big chance? I don't think so. I think it's a pretty small chance because it's in there fairly snug. But maybe over time, these plastic things might wear a little bit and it might come loose. So that is a potential concern. But, you know, it's a nice plastic. It's, I think, a fiber reinforced plastic. I'm not 100% sure of that, but I believe that's what it is. And then here's a good look at the hatchet. You've got a nice hole there for hanging it if you want to hang it that way. There's some steel at the back here in case you want to pound stuff in. And then it's a decent, almost 3-inch blade here. I think that's what it is. I should have measured it. I'm just going off my own internal measurement capabilities in my brain. And in the handle is not a knife, a saw. And what we have is, I think, 7 or 8 inches, maybe even a little bit more, of push and pull teeth, and they seem quite sharp. Of course, I have to test it for my review. And the same kind of plastic handle here. It's fairly comfortable in hand, not super great or anything. I did notice that the spine of this saw blade is thinner than the kerf, which means good design work, which means when you're cutting through a piece of wood, the spine isn't going to bind. So that's, you know, a good feature. So the design seems to be made fairly well, and the saw blade does not rattle when you're just lightly shaking this handle. And we'll see how it behaves when we actually use it. So we'll be reviewing that sometime in the future. And I do still have the specs and all that stuff, and I'll show that when I do the review. What else do we have? Well, we have one of my favorite HX Outdoors knives in a new edition. And yeah, when they put something in a box, that means it's a very good new edition. Now, it came to me pristine, but airlines are pretty rough. I had to take 3 different flights to get home. Kansas City, those, especially you Americans who know your geography, you might be surprised at this. I had to go Kansas City to Los Angeles to Vancouver to Calgary. So I went in a big square to get home. Nasty. Open up this wood, and you've got a nice wooden box. It did get damaged back here a little bit. Hopefully I can repair that. Well, I can repair it to some degree, but nice box. And this is a version of the TD01 in Damascus. So that's a good thing. So you got a nice big pommel back here in Damascus as well. And so you got a nice Damascus blade, TD1 style. Sneak up choil here. It's a fine blade, very, very fine indeed. The jimping is somewhat substantial, but it's a little slightly gentle, so it's not going to be rough on your skin. You can't do this reverse grab without it hurting your hand because of that corner right there. There is a serial number, and they like to serialize their more expensive knives. Very, very comfortable in hand, just grabbing it like this for somebody with hands my size anyways. So we'll be reviewing this in the future. Very nice leather sheath and good snap on it. So we have that. Let me put it away. I have lots to go through, so I got to keep going. We have this from NEXUS. NEXUS. These are chef's knives. I can't recall. I looked for emails. I can't see any emails from NEXUS. I do think I filled out an online form on their website, but they didn't write back or anything, but they did send these knives. So what we've got is a nice package. The steel on this is CTS, which is Carpenter, BD1N. So BD1N steel, which is not a cheap little budget steel. And we'll talk about that when I do the review. And you've got a filleting knife in the same steel. Both full flat grind, fine blades. So I'm looking forward to reviewing this. Lifetime warranty on those knives. Something that came in the mail while I was gone is this. And this is from Olight. Before I drop it. Olight, this is the third light that they're sending me. I think this is the, it's in the M series anyways. I did get an email about it. Oh, by the way, they've got their 12th, I think it's their 12th anniversary coming up very soon. And so look down below in the links for more of the details, because for their anniversary, they're having up to 40% off if you buy from their site. I'll put all those details down below. So yes, this is the M1T Raider compact EDC tactical knife, IPX8 for waterproofness. You want to see it, don't you? It's still sealed. So I unsealed it. They are doing protection. You can see it right away. There's their Read Me. They put plastic washers in it so that the batteries can't drain down while they're in there, and it very much lowers the risk of there being any fire. We all know that lithium batteries, it's a very low chance, but they do have a chance to sometimes have trouble during shipment. Itchy nose. That's a big pocket clip. Oh, it's a nice hat clip actually, and it's a two-way clip, so you can clip it on either this way or that way without changing the clip around. Very good. I like that. And back cap. Oh yes, it's got that plastic in there that stops it from turning on. But so there you go. A small EDC flashlight. Oh, I like that. I like the texture that they put on there. It's like a coiled, so it goes up. Very, very nice. I'll give you a nice close-up shot of that. So the M1T Raider, and we'll be doing a review of this fairly soon. Hopefully I can get it done for their 12th anniversary, but I doubt I'll have time. So check out their stuff. Here's a banner so that you can see what it's about. So there you go. If you like Olight, pay attention to that date and make sure that you check it out, because at 40% off, well, up to 40% off, you might be finding some really good deals. And they're doing it for their M line and for their PL line. So their M series and their PL series of lights, tactical knives, lights, not knives, tactical lights, gun lights, and all the way down to the PL Mini, all kinds of good stuff. So check that out. And what do we got here? We've got another HX Outdoors knife. And this thing's interesting. Like, this thing's freaky. I can't remember if this piece of lanyard comes with it or not. Paracord hardly matters. You can always add your own paracord if you want to. But here's an HX Outdoors. Why is there a space there? Well, it's a knife. Nice cutting edge right here. So you got a nice belly. But if you flip the guard, it now becomes a scissor. I played with this in the hotel room. The scissor cuts quite well, and it's heavy duty. Like, this is a thick chunk of steel. It's about 3.5 millimeters thick is what I'm guessing. I'll do the measurements and everything for the review. So we've got D2 steel, black coated. It's called the Dogfish Tactical Scissors. Tactical scissors. That's funny. And so yeah, this little lever comes down, becomes a finger guard, and it holds the knife in the locked position. So it's effectively a knife right now. And then when you're done using it as a knife, you flip that, and now you can use it as scissors. So there's a spring in there, so that it springs open on its own, just like a good set of scissors should. So we'll be looking at that. We've got a sort of a Kydex ABS plasticky something or another kind of sheath. I'm not sure what this kind of material is, but it's not, genuine Kydex. It's not bad stuff, but it's just not genuine Kydex. And so let's put that in there. And it's got a belt loop. And you can turn that belt loop one way or the other, so it's left or right-handed. So we'll be doing a review of this guy in the upcoming weeks. Put that down. What else do we have? We've got this package. This is from MASSDROP. So what did I order from MASSDROP? I don't remember. Oh yes, this knife. This nice knife. I hope it's a nice knife anyways. This is a Japanese knife, as you can see here. And I ordered this through MASSDROP because they had it with a special steel. And I'll reveal that steel when I do the review. But this is your classic Japanese knife. Nice reverse tanto tip right there. A little bit of a belly on this blade. And, it's just a nice steel handle. Very, very classic knife. Now, my brain, well, it's pretty messed up right now. I can't recall the exact name of these knives right now. But there you go. It's the typical Japanese style knife and size. And that's a very sharp blade there. Now I can see that there's a main grind, and then there is another grind that comes up about 1/8 of an inch before coming down. So it looks a bit like a saber grind, sort of looks like a Scandi grind, but it isn't really a Scandi grind, but it's sort of like it, but it's a traditional Japanese grind. I'm going to try to find out if there's a special name for that grind. Wow, on the close-up pictures, you'll see it very fine. Very well is what I mean. Nice knife here. So, genuine Japanese knife. And what else do we have? Well, my sister also mailed me some fixed blades. No, some folding knives, I should say. Shortly before I went down for the wedding, and they arrived while I was gone. So, let's open this package up. That is sharp. That is a sharp knife. And let's see what we've got. We've got one. We've got two. That one's pretty heavy. We've got three. Okay, so we've got 3 items here. And I'm asking my sister for the future to start sending me the knives in their original boxes. Ah, yes, this knife. And she sent me... She kept the satin one, the stonewash one. This is the Sanrenmu 8104, and she gave me the 8103 while I was there. So where did I put it? I think I left it upstairs. I'm going to go get it and show you both of these. And I'll get you the sizes comparisons between the 7000 series and the 9000 series over against this 8000 series. So we'll be right back. Well, for you, it'll be 2 seconds. So here they are. This is what used to be the 7010 or 710. Now the 7010. So there it is. The new 8103. And this is the 910 Plus. This is the a special one, exclusive that I got. I found it on Amazon somewhere. But these two are from GearBest. I'll try not to cover up most of the knife. But there you go. You can see the 3 sizes. I'll put in a still picture which shows all 3 of these. So hopefully the 8000 series, 8103, 8104 are just as nice as the others. They're again with 8CR, is it 13 or 14 this time? 14. 8CR 14 MOV steel on these. and they do have the land logo on them by Sanrenmu, and so very much the same knife, just in another size. And yes, these are totally inspired by Chris Reeves knives. So there you go. We'll be looking at these very soon. And yeah, I got the black wash version and the stone wash version. Very nice. And let's open up this heavy package, or heavier package. Opening sesame. Oh, there's two things in here, so maybe we've got more than I thought. The smaller one is here. Look at this. Oh yes, I asked for this thing. FURA now is putting their name on some of their knives. It says FURA GEAR. I think that's supposed to be D2 steel. I'll double check. You've got, that's more of a stop pin than a thumb stud, isn't it? It's a friction lock. There's a detent arm in here. It's not a locking, it's not really a lock, but it's a strong detent. You can hear it. Nice big choil there. So we've got a Warncliffe blade, nice flat or straight grind right there, pocket clip, and that's the show side right there with the 4 holes in it. Very nice, easy to open. One hand open. It's best to, at least right now when it's brand new to me, it's best to do a 2-hand close, because I wouldn't want to have a finger in front of it. But yeah, I think I'll be able to get to a 1-hand close fairly well. But that detent holds it very, very well in the open position. So there we go. And on this side, there's this knife. This is another Sanrenmu. No, FURA, sorry, FURA. It's a new FURA knife. And there's plastic underneath there. We've got a pocket clip, tip-up pocket clip. It's a cleaver, and it's also friction lock. Oh, the detent's not quite as nice on this one, but you've got a flipper tab right there. So it's a flipper friction lock. I'm going to see if I can make that detent a little bit stronger. It's the same, designed the same way as that one. It's got a, in this orientation on the top here, there's an arm, and it puts pressure down with a detent ball. So I'm going to try to spring that a little bit stronger so that the detent will hold a little more firmly. And then these are stop pins there, not thumb studs, but you can use them as thumb studs if you just get behind them a little bit and flip it out. So I guess they do sort of dual purpose there. And I guess if your hand is up here, when you try to close it, it is going to push onto your hand before it cuts you. And if your finger's right there, it's going to close onto your finger. Instead of cutting across your hand, it's just going to stab you a tiny bit with that corner, which is better than nothing. But there you go. Pocket clips, one side only. Very interesting cleaver style knife. Okay, and the very last thing that we're going to look at today is in here. And this is another FURA knife. And we've got a drop point with a swedge. Full flat grind here. Nice stonewash on it. Very nice stonewash on it. Nice lanyard hole there. Nice milling work on the G10. Right side pocket clip only. Liner lock. Lockup seems pretty good. Detent is quite good. Flipper tab. So there you go. All of these things coming out to you in review form very soon. Make sure you take note of that Olight sale coming to you very, very soon. June 12th. Yeah, June 12th is their 11th anniversary for Olight, so check that out. Thanks for watching this little unboxing, well, this big unboxing. Thanks for liking, sharing, commenting, and subscribing. And you guys are all the best. Thank you for all the support you guys give me, both by buying from the links that I provide. Very often those links end up getting me a tiny bit of a commission, a little bit of a referral. Most of these knives, well, actually about half and half. I bought some of these knives, and some of these knives were provided to me at no cost. And that's just the way it works in this industry. And remember, cut towards your chum and not your thumb. Bye now.